Take a look, see what's going to happen. All right. As you can see on this time around, Complexity, they are on the Legion side, of course. And SG, Stay Green, also known as Vote, on the Hellborn side. Again, it was a fun scene. It really is fun seeing Slicks with kind of a new atmosphere and seeing what he's going to bring to the table and all these new roles and whatnot on this team. But I really go back to you, especially when we checked his ping and everything. It does suck for him, man. I mean, he has to deal with that, especially in that laning phase initially. So definitely can play a role there. The locking phase even starting though. So the blind bans, we had Fade, Parasite coming out for Complexity, and there's the Keeper of the Forest, Wild Soul from Vote over here.
Yeah, the same bans coming out from Complexity. I don't think they were the same coming out from Swillmount. I believe he banned Plague and I forget the other one. But, yeah, some different bans, but same coming out from B-Kid. Doesn't want to deal with Fade, even though they're first pick. Doesn't want to deal with Parasite, even though they're first pick. And so, what do you know? Some standard locks coming out from both teams, really. Yeah. There's the Bubbles. There's the Ophelia and Tempest. Of course, Keeper is banned out, and that hero is just so ridiculous. And despite the fact that they had a pretty poor early game for Complexity and they had Keeper, he laned quite well against Magmus. And you can argue whether that had to do with ping issues from Slick specifically. I still think that even though he has that the volcanic touch ability on Magmus, I still think there's so much base damage with the Hatchet up on a Keeper of the Forest. You shouldn't be really missing that much CS against the Magmus anyway.
Yeah.
So I still favor him, and you know, obviously Keeper had his place in the team fights there with his ultimate, and had it gone longer, it would have a barrier idol, and yeah, Keeper is just a very strong hero. But then some more locks coming out: Wretched Hag and Plague Rider, pretty standard stuff yet again.
You know, not going to lie, I kind of missed the Gold Division finals.
Yeah.
Especially with the lockpick stage. I mean, obviously with Complexity info, you expect it to just be all normal in the sense that, you know, heroes that we should expect to see and whatnot. But, you know, of course I'm referring to how we had Gunblade yesterday, we had Artillery in that one game, and that was pretty crazy. We had a lot of fun picks yesterday. The Sandwraith Empath combination. We're just probably not going to get that here in this matchup. So, again, it's understandable, but it is, I guess that's where it's kind of cool how we do get to go a little bit back and forth between other divisions and see the different play style and whatnot. But in the end, you know, this is the Diamond Division. These are the best of the best, obviously. And you can respect the fact that they choose the heroes they do. But the locking phase advancing on here, in fact, finishing. Well, speaking of a trollish lock, there we go. Shadowblade, the final lock. But Bubbles, Ophelia, Tempest, Wretched Hag, and Plague Rider, the 5 heroes before that. So 4 out of those 5, most likely, going to eventually be picked up here by both of these teams.
Yeah, I love Shadowblade, by the way. I think the hero is really, really fun, really, really strong. I don't think it is, but is Dawnbringer available in this mode yet?
No.
Okay, well, that's a fantastic item on a Shadowblade. It really, really encompasses all of its strengths. So, but anyway, that was just a side note right there. The banning phase has begun. Demented Shaman is the first ban, actually. Even though it wasn't that lockpick pool last game, it wasn't picked up. Instead, we had that solo Magmus, and you know, Magmus definitely had his place early on in that game, but I still feel like, you know, Demented Shaman solo, if you can work it in, is very, very strong. And I know that Team Vote, they like to run Demented Shaman, so I was kind of curious to see them run the lanes they did. I also don't know about, you know, not running that tri-lane top and then having a solo mid last game. Of course, they did want to switch things up and go against, but, you know, we saw Complexity make the adjustment as well and have their dual lane top go mid. Or sorry, their dual lane mid go top.
Yeah.
Anyway, more bands coming out. Tundra, Engineer, and then Mirax is coming out from Swindlemelons, actually. Last band for Beacon is Silhouette. Now, I stuttered the Miraxis one because I know that Swindlemelons actually really likes picking Miraxis. Complexity, they run them from time to time too, but not as much as Vote.
Yeah, and the first pick potential coming up for Complexity for Miraxis, you know, it's definitely there for sure. So it's one of those cases. It's where you just don't want to risk it. They're going to go ahead and ban him out instead. Silhouette, as you mentioned, the final ban from Beacon, and there's the Zephyr ban coming out from Swindlemelon. So he's been banned, I believe, now in both of these games here so far in this best out of 3 series. So, of course, going to go into the regular picking stage. There's that Magmus there, I'm sure, looking tempting. Of course, Pebbles also still left open. You have your Luna, Glacius, Nymphora, plenty of support options. The Dark Lady carry option is there, so we'll see what Beacon goes for. He is going to go after that Pebbles. You got Engineer Magmus here. Again, I always like to look at that. Oh, no, you don't have Engineer Magmus. Excuse me. Engineer is banned. But you do have Magmus, at least.
Magmus Luna.
Magmus Luna. There you go. There's a good combo.
Arguably just as strong. I mean, Luna has more spam potential, obviously, for counter pushing and things like that. And this has, I think, a little bit more range. I want to say, yeah, range is 500 on Engineer. Luna is a 600. So, yeah, a little bit more range on her.
Yeah. 600, 500. So Swinmelon's going to think about it a little bit right here, though, as far as what they want to go with. And it's actually going to be Moon Queen and a Luna. Now, we mentioned, I believe it was B-Kid that actually banned Moon Queen here in the last game. Maybe it was Swinmelon. But somebody banned Moon Queen last game. You know, we kind of brought that up a little bit. It was B-Kid?
Yeah.
Okay. But not banned this game, and actually, Swinmelon takes advantage of that. So more than likely, we'll see that eventually swap to Keizu, of course, and again, Moon Queen's been a hero. It's on the competitive scene where we have seen if she gets to that late game stage, she will take over the game. So it is dangerous for Complexity, and you know, it kind of makes you wonder how Complexity is going to react now. Are they going to go for more of an early game presence, maybe even because of that? So,
yeah. Well, I mean, early game presence. They have a first pick Pebbles.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I mean, Pebbles is fantastic really in the early to mid, and can actually be effective in the late game, like I talked about not too long ago. And for their late game carry, they have the Draconis there, so. The good thing about Draconis is like with like similar to a Silhouette, you have the potential to late game carry, but you also have relatively good strength in lane early on, and so that's a great pickup for Complexity. Now for Pebbles, the one thing I'm worried about for V0TE is that picking up a Moon Queen. If you have a favorable lane for Pebbles, having that portal key up on him early, like 12 minutes to 14 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
That could be death and very scary for Moon Queen. Like. If you're a Pebbles with an early portal key, you're looking at that Moon Queen and Moon Queen alone. So that's the one thing I fear, picking Moon Queen into Pebbles like that. I think I would have maybe picked a hero that has a little bit more escape mechanism, or has a little bit more, I don't know, can get around the map a little bit easier, and it can also late game carry. Something like perhaps a Dark Lady, I think would have been a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
But, you know, Moon Queen does have that late game potential. There's the first pick out of that lockpick pool is Ophelia, not before the Pharaoh was picked up for Team V0TE.
Yeah, Pharaoh, the final regular pick, of course. But yeah, Ophelia snap picked by B-Kid, actually. He didn't even put too much thought into that, or perhaps just thinking even before. Obviously, he knows he's going to have that first pick out of the lock pool, so really not too surprising there. But now it's back over to V0TE. You know, what do they go with now themselves? They did go with the Pharaoh, so they have that suicide option already. Thinking something like a Tempest, Tempest Tag, Tempest Bubbles. I could definitely see Hell Tempest Plague Rider, so... Something tells me Tempest is going to be a part of it, though.
I think you still go Tempest Plague here.
Yeah.
Or you could go Tempest Bubbles as well, but having that double deny, and we've seen Tempest Plague do work. And you could go Pharaoh solo mid, a Luna Moon Queen laning top, and then Tempest in the jungle. The only thing is you have to be careful of the Ophelia tri-lane, which I think will happen. Ophelia, Glacius, Pebbles in the long lane. They are going to go Tempest Plague, like I suspected. But like I said, you got to be careful of that Ophelia tri-lane with Glacius, Pebbles. Draconis mid, I'm expecting. And then perhaps I would say Bubbles here. Having Hag on the team would just be too much farm. So I think Bubbles would be the best choice for Complexity.
Again, B-Kid's going to think about it here, and it is going to be Bubbles. So, yeah, bringing up a good point that maybe just a little bit too much farm to go around if you go the Hag route, as much as they love to run Hag, as we so put it, and we even saw the first game, of course, for Haxrin. Going to go with the Bubbles instead. But Haxrin has Draconis this time to play, so I'm sure he'll be just fine, and I'm sure we'll eventually see that swapped at least. Not swapped just yet, but... that would be odd if we see Moon playing Draconis and Haxrin on Bubbles. talk about role reversal there.
We might see it.
And okay, kind of. I was gonna say, are we gonna have a remake here? What's going on? No, they do swap it at the last second, and it is good to go. So, yeah, gonna see how the laning phase comes about. Of course, the usual pause to get things kicked off here, but. Draconis being played by Haxrin, and once again a very, very scary carry hero. Scary carry? Yeah.
Scary carry.
Scary carry. That makes sense.
Scary
okay.
curry.
Oh, look at what V0TE is doing, though. Okay, maybe. Is there potential for level 1 Kongor? I'm just saying.
Well, with Pharaoh, there always is.
Yeah, they are kind of
and they have Swinmelons, he has interesting items, to say the least. I mean, I wouldn't see that normally on a Pharaoh. Tempest has even more interesting items, having the Ring of Teacher first, so this could very well be a level 1 Kongor. So, yeah, the thing is if they can spot it, if
they go the aggressive trial lane like you're expecting, I mean, you got to figure out so they're going to go up top and kind of scout things out, and that could delay them maybe even expecting the Kongor and getting over there even. So,
but they're not going to. They're going to have Bubbles be in that suicide lane. They really feel comfortable with Moon on suicide, even though I feel like they have the means to definitely take on a very strong tri lane in the top lane.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they want to just have a more safe game. They want to have Pebbles, Glacius mid against whatever's going to be mid. Probably going to be Pharaoh, I would assume. We'll have to wait and see, but their lanes could be different depending on, they get this Kongor kill or not.
Kongor's going out fairly fast. Again, Pharaoh, especially with that Hellfire, is good tank, some decent damage output.
By the way, even more stuff. Slicks is now playing Moon Queen.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, that is something. Huh. Again, that kind of goes to the same. Oh, Pharaoh needs to be careful. Actually taking a lot of damage. He will use the health potion, though. 10 seconds on the Hellfire. Luna's going to tank it a little bit for now, but again, that's the other criticism of this team. As great as a player Slicks is, it brought not only a region problem to the team, but also a role problem to the team. Of who was going to play what role in the end, and not necessarily a problem, but I guess you have to change things up. But is this going to be one of those teams where they constantly change things up? Is the question. Are they ever going to stick to something?
It looks like it. Like
Yeah.
Skyzo's playing support one game, Suicide the next. Snowballing is playing support one game, carry the next, or initiator the next. Keizu's playing. They do get the Kongor. That's great for them. Token of Light goes on the Swindlemelons. And then Keizu playing Suicide this game, and now Slicks. Yeah, I just don't know. Like I feel like having definitive roles is. It's consistent, and players get used to that hero and just get very, very good at that one thing.
Yeah. Well, when you think of HoN's history, I mean, that's perfect evidence right there. You got your team, your best teams that we've ever seen in HoN. You know, you got your Fnatic, you got your Complexity, way back in the day, even with We Are. I mean, it just seems like that there was always those defined roles on a player.
Yes.
And, you know, it definitely helps lead to success. So, anyways, looking at this game, though, at a different picture. I mean, level 1 Kongor, successful, obviously, in favor of votes. That's great for them. And, you know, as we've said before, although it hasn't necessarily stood by that rule, but it seems like a level 1 Kongor should really give you enough of an advantage early on to, well, even guarantee a victory right off the bat. But obviously, they still got plenty of game to play, so we'll see how it eventually plays out and how Complexity now kind of adjusts to this. But they didn't spread out the experience or anything. Everyone hit level 2. They all got the same in that sense. Pharaoh was the one to pick up the Token of Life. He is mid, and he is going right now 1v1 against this Pebbles. Now, they're doing an interesting thing here on Complexity. Glacius has kind of been roaming around with Chessie here on Ophelia, so they're kind of supporting this Ophelia here even, but.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they just think that they cannot gank mid, and actually Glacius taking a little bit of damage, and now Ophelia's in a world of hurt. Ophelia will most likely fall here. As they just spent way too much time. Like, what are they thinking? Complexity thinking, spending all that time up there. Like, they would need to either gank the Moon Queen with Glacius and just have a Glacius Bubbles Ophelia try. It's not crazy. It sounds terrible on paper, but if you're getting kills, hey, why not?
Yeah.
And they could have put Rome on the Moon Queen up top. And I don't know what they were thinking. That was just silly to me. They were thinking, I think, don't dual lane mid against the Pharaoh who has a Token of Life, but why not? Like, Pebbles is still going to get free farm. He's still 11-5 against a 4-0 Pharaoh because of that hatchet. He's just a superior hero in mid right now, doing massive damage, 76 max damage. So that was just silly by Complexity.
Well, so not only a level 1 Kongor, but a very early Bloodlust kill for Pharaoh on top of that. And again, as you said, Pharaoh when it comes to creep farm isn't necessarily the most impressive start here, but he's looking pretty good when it comes to his farm. He picked up the bottle right off the bat, and he's well on his way to boot. So Swindlemelon's definitely going to have a decent impact here, at least you'd like to think here. This game, as you said, those Slicks playing that Moon Queen for votes, and he's farming this top lane, taking a lot of pressure right there, getting hero or creep locked even, but he'll kind of respond with a Moonbeam himself and pressure bubbles. And here comes the Luna charging in, being played by Skyzo, playing that heart support this time around. And going to send Bubbles pretty much back to his tower. So, yeah, very, very, very unique and interesting start to this game. But it is definitely in favor of Vote right now. But as you put it as well, B-Kid, I mean, his farm is actually very good himself. He's 18-9 now, by far the best in the game even, when you compare it to anyone else's creep farm. And he is looking very strong here. And you always like to see the farmed Pebbles early on if you have him on your team, of course. And some good success from that. So,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's basically gotten every single CS on top of like 10 denies. And actually, Hellfire use actually. Oh, Bubbles in a lot of trouble. He does have a take cover. It's on. Oh, actually, we already used it for the auto cast. But he will be fine for now. But yeah, I saw Swindlemelon unfortunately waste his Hellfire there in mid. Tried to go for a kill onto B-Kid, but just couldn't find the opening.
Luna may get the kill right here. Chasing down Bubbles. Does have a power throw. He's going to need to use his take cover very wisely here. I think Moose should be fine. He's going to try to get into take. Oh, he does take cover at the last second. The bottle charges on top of that. Yeah, not bottle charges, but the region on top of that will be fine. So,
good attempt from Skyzo. The one thing that you can do for Bubbles, and I haven't done it. I believe Moon has, but you can actually bind your autocast take cover. Like not just have a hotkey for your take cover, but you can bind your autocast where it's not like you can just you don't have to really time it. You just press it, and then it's automatically autocasted. So it's really effective against, in that situation perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah, so he stays alive. He obviously had to fall back to base to get some regen, but I mean, he's level 4, and for a Suicide Bubble, it's not too shabby there. And he does manage to happen to have 11 creep kills on top of that. So yeah, Moon Meander looking fairly good here early on playing the bubbles. And then there's Haxorn, of course, playing Draconis. Here at the bottom lane, 17-5 start against Plague Rider, being played by Keizu of all players this game. Again, it's all very odd to see that, but Keizu is, what is he at himself? 14-12, so a little bit of back and forth. Draconis is in the lead, and actually Tundra Blast coming out. Blazing Flight going to be activated, running right on top of Plague Rider with the Ice Imprisonment. There's that Dragon Flame, and Plague Rider will fall right here in favor of Haxorn. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, actually, combo coming out from Pebbles, but he's in a little bit of trouble. Swinamel sitting right on top of him. He does not have enough mana for anything else, and it looks like Pebbles will be fine, so back and forth there, but big kill for Draconis at the bottom lane.
Yeah, good job. They found just openings somewhere. Like, if you can't get something done in one lane, try in a different lane and see if it works out. And he did a good job about staying outside of the AoE of this ward that actually was placed by Keizu not too long ago. So he didn't place it early on. He placed it relatively recently. So, but yeah, good job from him. Very easy kill. Haxorn jumped in with that Blazing Flight, pushed him back with the Dragon Flame, which he's maxing the Dragon Flame, by the way. I like that. And, yeah, good kill. Good pickup right there. Token of Life on Swiddlemelons is up in about 1:30, so, yeah, Token of Life from the early level 1 Kongor kill is not necessarily the biggest deal. It's mostly about the golden experience that you get early on, but, yeah.
Yeah, maybe
some action actually on Pebbles.
Yeah, he is going to go out. He's going to be chucked back right there and actually going to be comboed. He may fall, and he has that Token of Life, so not the biggest deal in the world, and there we go.
I think he wants to fall,
exactly.
honestly.
If anything, that works out better for him. So now he's full life, full mana. He comes back up. And as I was about to say, I mean, the big advantage of having the Token of Life, especially at level 1 Kongor, is that you simply can play a lot more aggressive.
Yeah.
You have that mindset at least, and that's kind of what he was doing right there. So he dies, not a big deal. Going to come back up, and full life, full mana, so...
Yep.
I love what Moonkin was doing up here, by the way. He kept on activating, or stop casting his Moon Finale, actually. He was doing it with his Moon Finale, so it seemed like he was going, or I think it might have been the Moon Beam, actually. Probably would be the safer route, but he was kind of toying with Moon Meander there, maybe trying to get him to take cover. But Moon Meander wasn't falling for that, but Moon may be in some trouble here. He knows something is up, though. Great presence of mind here. I mean, he is just hiding in his forest, obviously, whether it's missing an action call or maybe someone run past his sight, but...
There was this Invis rune that was given to Tempest after bottling up by Swindlemelons, but they saw the whole exchange. Like, they had a ward here, they saw them give it to Tempest, Tempest walked off afterwards. Moon might be in a little bit of trouble, but is able to get away from Tempest, so, yeah, good job. Like I said, they saw the entire thing. Moon knew what was up, and he just knew he had to play very, very passively. But regardless, this tower is going to get pushed very early on, and having an early start with a Moon Queen and a Tempest on your team is really huge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's Slicks is right now 386 gold per minute, especially after the tower kill. He is by far the best farm of the game, at least compared to the Legion team. He has teammates, Tempest and Pharaoh are also up there. Pretty comparable themselves. So, yeah, a huge start here for Vote. Again, just like the last game, maybe a little bit different this time around. It's even bigger this game, but we don't know how the last game finished, so if your Vote want to be careful. Now they're going to be activated this time. He does actually go through with it, and it gets that kill on a Moon Meander. Great play right there from Slicks. Excellent dive. And they're going to go for a tower kill. Now, Pebbles and Glacius thinking about flanking from behind, but with Bubbles dead, that will change some things. So I don't know how confident they're going to be. But, yeah, big kill on a Bubbles there initially.
Yeah, you can almost say that was a mistake by Moon, but even better job by Slicks. Like, he knows that he has the faster movement speed. He knew that Bubbles had already used his Shell Surf, so he was in a very vulnerable position. So good job from Slicks.
Oh, tower denied. Not going to come out. Great stun by Aluna there on the minion at the last second. Chessie was attempting to deny it, as he does so often with his minions right there playing that Ophelia, but not able to do so because of the stun. So, man, I mean, Vote, 5,400 gold lead, 4,300 experience lead. We are only 8 minutes into this game. I mean, this is a lead, a level 1 Kongor, that it just seems like would work out very well for you. Bottom lane, Draconis has some trouble. The ultimate from both Plague and Pharaoh used right there. No bounces, but the initial damage more than enough from Casey to set up the kill. And again, that's what matters in the end. So great coordination there. Swinamels actually picks up the kill himself. He's now 2-0-0, 418 gold per minute himself all of a sudden. Man, again, things are just coming together very nicely here early on for Vote.
Now, I will say that Team Vote, they play really well in the early game. Like, they really do. They seem to kind of, I don't know, they seem to kind of not play so well as the game progresses. But I will say, for 2 points. One, they have a Moon Queen. So if it goes late, you're gonna secure that late game with the Moon Queen, with the Plague Rider ultimate, with the Tempest ultimate, and then great initiation from Pharaoh. So they have the late game. And the number 2 point is it Slicks. Like, I just think Slicks on carry is very, very strong. And again, not to knock up Keizu at all, because I think he's a great player and a great carry player, but I just feel like Slicks that's his home. You know, I don't think him playing these initiation heroes like Magnus, he can do it, but I really feel like carry is his home.
Yeah, it's definitely his go-to role. So he is, again, off to a great start here, 417 gold per minute himself. He got Steam Boost, Ring of the Teacher. He's well on his way to going to the side shop here and picking up the Hungry Spirit to finishing his Whispering Helm, but he loves to maximize his farm, man, so he's still just sitting here making sure to get all these creep kills as much as possible before he goes over to even finish that. But yeah, again, all across the board, you just look at the items, the stats, and everything looking so good early on here for V0TE. We're not even 10 minutes into the game now. Wrath of the Pharaoh going to be used on Pebbles in the meantime. In his face, basically, but Tempest coming in. The Tempest ultimate even going to be used. Really want to get this kill. And, well, again, they will guarantee them the kill. So a little bit interesting right there, use of the abilities, but they got it. Beacon falls, and now they're going to push this middle tower on top of that.
I think it was a fine ultimate. I mean, it might have looked like overkill, but they didn't want to take any risks.
Yeah.
And they should know at about this time, this is when the response is going to be coming out. And you don't want, like, Pebbles to stun, Bubbles to come up with the Kelp Field, and he gets away after a great initiation already happened from Pharaoh. So, yeah, that was a fine ultimate.
Yeah. And the placement was very nice, too. There was a placement of in front of, really, if the Legion team wanted to maybe help Pebbles, I mean, they were going to have to basically walk into it. So, yeah, it was pretty well placed. Actually, Pharaoh, though, hold that thought for a second. He's actually in a little bit of trouble right here. Going to be locked down by the Legion team, but in comes the response. That Moon Finale going to be activated. Bouncing around, doing a lot of damage. Like Laser bouncing now. Down goes Bubbles. Down goes Pebbles right there. So a 2-for-1 exchange.
Wow.
That I think V0TE will be very happy for. And now, again, they're going to push this middle lane here.
So I'm talking about, I mean, Moon Queen already rotated. She could have just been kept farming the jungle with that Whispering Helm, but Slicks likes to play actively and doing damage, especially when you have a Moon Queen that, yes, you can farm, but that ultimate does a lot of damage at this stage of the game, especially when you're up this much. And I thought Pebbles bought back because he came back so fast, but he didn't. He died immediately. He came back, died right after that. Beacon is not feeling it this game, I'm sure. 0-2-1 start for him.
Yeah. And
like I say all the time, you want to prioritize the farm on your Pebbles, and they're simply not doing that. In fact, really no one has farm, not even Haxerit. Not even 250 gold per minute for him. So, I mean, we talked about the early lead that V0TE had last game. It's not even comparable to what they have this game, not to mention they have the better late game.
Oh, yeah. This game, it really is a completely different story. And it's not often you see, especially a team like Complexity in this situation, but they definitely are, and you got to give the credit to V0TE. Just like we were kind of saying how they had their mistakes last game, and they definitely threw some chances even. But this game, they are playing very, very, very well. I mean, sure, the level 1 Kongor definitely puts you at a decent lead early on.
Oh, yeah.
Even getting that in the first place, I mean, it's just smart strategy, and it's working out. It's paying off big time here. They're going to get another Kongor kill. We're only 12 minutes into the game now. This is the second Kongor kill coming out. We'll have Moon Queen with another token of life, or not, I shouldn't say another, but with a token of life here. Yeah, it's getting ridiculous. 2,200 gold already saved up, and there's a Firebrand. I mean,
yeah.
Firebrand, Whispering Helm, Steam Boots, 12 minutes into this game.
It's pretty farmed.
The gold per minute chart really explains it. This is honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this is really looking like a pace of a 15-minute game if this just keeps up. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. If they engage in another team fight and wipe them, I'm pretty sure Complexity will CC. But yeah, I mean, the level 1 Kongor really did start it all. I mean, it makes it more difficult in the laning phase. If you saw, they had the roam from Glacius and Ophelia. Had the Token of Life not been on Pharaoh, he would have been dead, like, so fast.
Yeah.
They would have roamed on him, he would have been dead so fast. And they just simply couldn't gank him anymore. So, that being said, I don't know what the hell they were thinking just roaming around the jungle like that. They were up in there so long, actually. Some action here on where he's going. I heard it, but Pebbles. He's in the mid. I don't have game sound, so I have to go off of you. But actually, does get a good combo actually on the members in the background there, but it does fall. So, yeah, like I said, I don't know what Complexity was thinking in the early game, just roaming around the jungle that long. Obviously, you had the response coming out from Pharaoh, and they got the early Bloodlust onto Chessie. So that was really. I mean, Kongor was bad, but that was just like. That was the icing on the cake for Team V0TE.
Yeah. At the same time, this is one of those really ugly games for a team like Complexity, where you look at it as a person from the outside, spectator, where you look at the stats and you're like, holy crap, they're getting dominated. But again, a level 1 Kongor, it really does snowball. Not to say that V0TE, again, they played it very well themselves, and it's definitely been impressive to watch. But it's a case if you're Complexity, I'm sure that they'll have this mindset that, you know what, they got the level 1 Kongor, they took it to us, it helped them big time. Let's move on to Game 3 and not really let that even bother us. But hey, V0TE, I mean, they're well on their way to taking the Game 2 victory here at this rate, and that means we will be seeing a third and final game here in the Losers Bracket Final, so that's pretty cool. Now, again, it's not to say that's over just yet, so I guess I don't want to get too far ahead, but they are going to defend the top tower here. It's actually in deny range now, which they will be able to do. They pushed both bottom towers in the meantime, so Now their top lane is cleared out. That's kind of good for complexity, I guess. But
That's just
the goal per minute chart really explains it all. I mean,
that's not enough of an exchange. You know, you get one tower, the 2 towers there for SG or Team V0TE, and then they deny the tower, so they're not allowing any more room for complexity to get back into this game. Barbed Armor up on Pharaoh, great pickup for him, pretty much standard. You have the Astrolabe up on the Plague Rider, looking towards a push tablet after that. And Moon Queen almost has her Geometer's Bane. This is not even 15 minutes in.
That's
this
ridiculous.
Is pretty crazy. So it's looking very, very grim for complexity at this point. And
I think
I agree with you
here.
Right at the 15-minute mark.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe they'll wait for a fight, but
I think they'll wait for a fight. B-Kid is well, wait
True.
and see. We'll wait and see. Okay. B-Kid is not one to give up early. He really isn't. He likes to play it out till the end. At least get a portal key up on him and then try to get something started with that. If you're not able to, then maybe look to go into game 3.
What were you saying about the, I guess the point that I made, or?
Oh, no, just the fact that I could expect an early concede this game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, it's obviously they're still going to try to play this out, though. Speaking of the portal key on Pebbles, he has about 1,700 gold saved up, so it is getting there very, very shortly. Barbed Armor already picked up on Pharaoh. We're so focused on Moon Queen, but look at Pharaoh, Barbed Armor, Steam Boots, Gravelock. You have Tempest as portal key. In fact, they're going to jump once again on a beacon right here. He's going to be bursted down by the Hellborn team. Moon Queen following suit. She didn't even Moon Finale there. That was just Moonbeam and auto attack damage. So B-Kid, that portal key will be delayed even a little bit longer now. And V0TE is going to group up as a team and make a push. As I said, though, Tempest, he has his portal key good to go. And ready to jump in with an ultimate if he finds the situation. Draconis only sitting on Steam Boots and Sustainer right now. Not going to be having any big items anytime soon. So they're going to lose their final outer tower here in the middle lane. Now 16 minutes into the game, so...
I don't know why Moon Queen didn't buy her Geometer's Bane right there. The chicken, or the courier was right in base the whole time. It's just delivering a homecoming store right now, but she could have bought that Geometer's Bane. Maybe she wants to go for the Shrunken Head right after the Firebrand, which I think is also okay, but when you're this far ahead, there's no problem in buying Geometer's Bane, especially when you have Token of Life up. And now they're going to clear out the double stack Ancients from Complexity. This is just getting pretty much out of hand for Team V0TE.
Yes, it is. Pretty ugly. 3,800 gold saved up on Moon Queen, so the courier being sent back right now. She is also heading in that direction. We'll see what she eventually purchases right here, whether it is that Shrunken Head or whatnot. But I look at Draconis, speaking of Shrunken Head, I mean, he actually went to Sustainer, but he's like, you know what, I need to go Shrunken Head too. He goes a Mighty Blade here. So probably going to finish a Shrunken Head first himself at this rate, you know, Nullstone. I guess it does seem kind of silly with the way this game is going to try to rush for that item. So there's the Shrunken Head purchase on Slicks, though, playing that Moon Queen. So kind of going a safe route in that sense. He's under 1,000 life right now with the agility Steam Boots, so once this is delivered, he will have plenty. Pharaoh will initiate once again, this time catching Draconis action. The Mummy Wall's up, the Barbed Armor's activated, and Draconis is like, holy crap, hold that thought for a second. Actually, the background, Moon Meander jumping in with a Kelfo, gets the kill on a Moon Queen, but a Moon Queen, she's being locked down though. Moon Queen being locked down by the Ophelia minions right here, but the turnaround coming out, there's the Tempest ultimate, pulling them in, down goes Ophelia right there. Bubbles take a lot of damage, the stun with the Stalagmites, not going to be enough. The Shark, not enough damage. Yes, it is actually. Moon Queen will fall, but everyone on the Legion team nearly going to die themselves as Bubbles goes down. Glacius, the only one to live. And I think, actually, Chastity picks up a kill there with one of the minions onto Tempest. But
I mean, yeah, that fight was obviously still in favor of Team V0TE, but that courier stopped. It was standing there the whole time, 500 yards away from Moon Queen with the Shrunken Head on it. Like, it just stopped. I don't know what they were doing. I mean, come on, Slicks. Well, yeah, it didn't matter. I mean, huge fight there, one for Team V0TE. You do have a portal key coming up in 100 gold for B-Kid, and like I said, I think this is going to be a matter of can we actually get back in this game with a portal key on Pebbles? If not, then let's throw in the towel, try for game 3.
Yeah, so gonna at least wait for that here, and it was actually pretty well played. I mean, Moon Meander and Chessie, they did a great job of catching Moon Queen in the background after a solid Pharaoh initiation. And not only killed them once, but of course killed them twice as he respawn with the Token of Life. So definitely big plays coming out for them. He still doesn't have the Shrunken Head after resurrecting it. The courier's like flying around all over the place. Okay, this is going to be delivered to him right here. So he will now have the Shrunken Head on top of everything else he has going into the next fight. So B-Kid, a couple more creep kills, will pick up that portal key himself. Draconis, again, working on that Shrunken Head, only sitting on the Mighty Blade still, and no, he has not bought anything else. He really is just struggling that much when it comes to farm. Again, the gold per minute chart, it really is something. everyone on Vote is higher than everyone on Complexity. Again, if all the other stats weren't a storyline to tell you what's going on, I mean, that kind of has to be too. So, Glowstone now purchased on Pharaoh. Got a tablet of commands being picked up. One on Plague Rider. I believe Illuminated just finished hers. So again, obviously the items are really just adding up here for Vote, and seems like they could just group up and just mass push at this point to really finish off this game. If anything, in fact, they're going to jump on a Bubbles right here. Moving into a lot of trouble, trying to shell surf away. He will be fine, it looks like. So, good getaway on his part, but
yep,
having to get away.
There's just too many freaking items up on the Hellwar team. Like, just compare them. Shrunken Dead, Firebrand, Whispering Hell, Barbed, Glowstone, 2 tablets, a Blink. I mean, you got a Blink on the Legion. That's it. And it was just picked up, yeah, by Pebbles that needed to have it way sooner.
Oh, Glacier's going to get picked off right here. Swinamelon's flying around all over the place with that ultimate of his. And actually, Chessie getting caught off to the side as well. Tempest is there. Beakid's sitting on the back, and he's like, should I go in? Should I go in? No, he won't. The Plague is bouncing around that minion, taking a lot. And Chessie is still alive somehow. Yeah. Blocking them with the minions. So well played. He's such an awesome Ophelia player. In the end, though, I think he might be. No, the Beakid's still alive. Tempest jumps in, but he gets done. And Chessie will. No, the power throw, the chuck away. It connected, but still not enough for the kill. Chessie survives. Mission accomplished right there. Oh, but Beacon will fall. Chessie. So. Save Chessie.
Success.
The mission was a success, exactly. But it's still, yeah, definitely. No, but still as fun as that was, entertaining as it was, I mean, Beacon still died in the end. It's like, really, okay.
You know what would have been really funny is the power throw went off. He chucks Chessie and then denies him
as a result.
That would have been funny.
That would have been pretty cool. Swinamel's does play a great Pharaoh, so that might. I mean, we know this from history. He is awesome to watch in that hero. He flies around all over the place, and been seeing that constantly this game as well. So, setting up those initiations and hoping to guarantee some kills for the team. I mean, 20,000 gold. It really. I don't know if it's even necessary to keep constantly going back to that. We all know at this point how much of a lead Vote has over Complexity. It's again, I honestly am a little bit surprised that they are still staying in this game. I don't think they maybe even realize how far they are behind, but. Hey, I guess a Shrunken Head on Draconis, go for that, and then that's going to be the key item in terms of seeing.
How often do you keep? Then how much more do you keep doing that?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll just wait till we get the Shrunken Head.
We'll wait till this.
We'll just wait till Bubbles gets his Blink. Yeah, we'll wait till Pebbles gets his Shrunken Head too. So
look at Draconis. He's going to get caught by Pharaoh again. Wrath of the Pharaoh wasn't even necessary. He just sneaked up on him with an Invis and actually Plague Rider assist right there. So.
Yeah. On top of Barbed already being a standard item and then just being a great item for Pharaoh, it's even better against Draconis.
Yeah.
It's not like this at this stage of the game when he pops that Blazing Flight as well. It's effective, but even later it's more effective when you have that Cataclysmic Assault hitting everybody and the the Dragon Flame hitting everybody, just all that AoE damage. Yeah, it's just going to be horrible. I'm with you, man. I have no idea why they're in this game. Like, this is completely over. Yeah. Save an absolute miracle for Complexity. There's no way they're coming back into this game.
Hey, it can happen. Believe, damn it, believe.
I'm not a believer this time. I'm not a believer.
You're not.
I'm a believer, but I'm not a believer.
You don't have the faith in Complexity lately?
Well, not right now.
After DreamHack and everything, no. Kongor. This will be the third Kongor kill, by the way. So this will be bananas as well already. Going to be coming out here. Complexity, they don't even know what's going on. Actually, they don't have vision really at the Kongor pit. Again, probably maybe an idea, but could they stop it? Probably not. They're just gotta continue to farm. So now they'll also have to deal with another token of life here on Moon Queen, and then Banana's probably on somebody like Pharaoh or Tempest or something like that. So yeah, good luck, Complexity. You got this.
GLHF.
Again, they're up one game. If this was like if they were down 1-0 here, and it would be a different thing, I think. But they're up 1-0. Obviously, there's going to be a third and final game. Really, it's just why hurt yourself even more mentally? I mean, yeah, why kind of bury yourself even more in this hole going into that third and final game? Maybe it's just more of a case of wanting to strategize going into it more, but I don't know.
23K at 23 minutes is
it's
unbelievable.
absurd.
Like, you equate that to a full 50-minute game. That's like, I want to say 50, 60K. It's really, really crazy how much of a lead they have. And do they just not know it? Like, how do they not realize this?
Well,
even just looking at the levels, 16, 15, 14, 13, you have 12, 12, 11, 7, 9. Like,
I think that this could be it. I mean, here we go. SG or Vote is going to push the middle lane right now. The middle tower. Is that a double damage? Yes, it is. A double damage on Moon Queen. Why the hell not? That's necessary right now. Shell Surf going to be going from Moomian right there, but he quickly falls back after Shell Surfing in. So Again, obviously, token of life also on Moon Queen, and the towers just drop in to the Catman champion. Going to even take a nuke right there and eventually fall to the glaives bouncing around. So good job from Moon Queen. Moon Finale. Oh, it is going to be activated, actually. She's charging, and she wants to kill Draconis right off the bat. There goes Pharaoh jumping as well. Barb Dropper going to be activated. He's tapping away, though. The heal coming up from Ophelia, but the tower will fall. Now the fight has come as Pebbles jumps in. He may get the kill to Moon Queen, but again, he has a token of life. The Plague is going to bounce around, and Pebbles will fall in the background. Draconis cataclysmic assault, but it's just not nearly enough. Moon Queen going down, coming right back up, though, and now ready to fight once again. So Draconis is just sitting back very passively. Moon Meander also back there. Beacon obviously dead. Look at the glaives. Doing work as you expect with the farmed Moon Queen. Just bouncing around the whole base. The melee racks is going to go down right here. And Complexity is still fighting strong. Okay, there we go. There's the GG well plates. And they say, all right, we'll throw in the towel here. We've had enough. Draconis going to get caught on. It doesn't matter, though. GG well plays, and we are going to a third and final game, ladies and gentlemen. So
Game 3.
that really is cool. Here in the losers bracket finals for the Diamond Division, who will get that rematch against Trademark Esports? Will it be Complexity or will it be V0TE? Both teams have shown a lot of strength here. I've been a little bit more impressed with V0TE, honestly, in this series. Even though they lost the first game, again, they looked very good early on. Will they be able to come through in Game 3, or will Complexity once again take in the third game, Joel? We'll see.
Well, you in this game especially, you have to go back to Kongor. Like, the level 1 Kongor is obviously huge for two teams that are this caliber.
Yeah.
And on top of that, though, I still feel like the decision of not going aggressive tri-lane top kind of hurt them. Even if they didn't have Pebbles top, they still could have done something up there against the Moon Queen. She's very susceptible to ganks. You did have a dual lane Moon Queen, Aluna. Well, Aluna was kind of floating around between helping out the jungler of Tempest and helping out Moon Queen. But with Ophelia in the mix, it's not like you had Glacius to stop an Ophelia creep or anything like that. Yeah. You had Glacius yourself. And you could easily dive that Moon Queen. So I think their decision to maybe man up on top would have been better than what they did. But nonetheless, yeah, in both games, regardless of the kind of what throw, quote-unquote, that SG had in Game 1, they came out on top very early on in both games. And it was fun to watch.
It was, and again, like I said, I'm confident saying that. I really think V0TE, they are looking like the better team here in the series so far, going into the certain final game. So that does, if you are a Complexity fan, maybe worry you a little bit. But at the same time, it is Complexity. Talk about perseverance, talk about coming back. They are definitely one of those teams that could very likely do so. So again, it's a Game 3. It's even in that sense. So, well, let's just go ahead and take a break, and we'll be back, of course. So Complexity taking on Gary Johnson 2012. Who will win Game 3 and get that rematch against Trademark in the Grand Finals later on today? Stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back.
My name's Oliver Smith, and you've been listening to Anjuna Beats Worldwide. That last track was Vision